You know, if you could hand pick techniques that you just really enjoy to do, probably one of my favorite is cranking heavy shallow water cover. The two best baits that Strike King made by far for me to fish heavy cover with, a 1.5 and a 2.5. And realistically, how I would pick between the two, water temperature, what fish are feeding on. But other than that, each bait is equally as good as the other. I do lean a lot towards that 2.5 when the water's dirty. It's warmer water conditions. Fish are feeding on bigger shad or bluegill or some type of perch. Just nothing beats a 2.5. I can just pick it up and take heavy cover apart. A little bit cleaner water situations, more grass, a little cooler water temperatures, 1.5. That's typically how I decide between the two, but the deal is with these baits, you can attack a piece of cover. I mean, you just throw multiple times to the same place and get reaction strikes. Both baits will carry big hooks. Depending on depth, 14 to 20. I typically don't go lighter than 14-pound test on either one of them. It just depends on how deep I'm trying to get the bait. But I do spend a lot of time 16 and 20 because you're throwing around heavy cover and you're fishing for bigger than average fish. But the great thing about these baits are they're really weedless as crankbait goes. So when I get to that heavy cover, I can make repetitive casts. Because a lot of times that's the whole key to triggering those fish to bite that are around heavy cover is you're basically trying to draw that fish off the cover. So a lot of times you got to keep putting that bait in there. A lot of times you're fishing for a fish that's basically inactive. It can be really hot summertime weather and they're locked down in that heavy cover and you just got to keep putting that bait in there. So you need a crankbait that's weedless. And definitely the 2.5 and the 1.5 are tailor-made for that. They both come in either rattling or silent. That you just kind of have to, I feel the fish out in that situation. A lot of times in colder water, I like a 1.5 rattling bait, where in warmer water, I typically stick more with the silent bait. Rod and reel, I like a 6.5 to a 7.5 gear ratio, BB1 Pro. My cranking special 7-foot rod, because I'm target fishing with these baits, making short underhand cast and tearing that cover apart. And that's a working man's technique and that's a working man's rod. That's it. My two favorite crankbaits, a 1.5 and a 2.5, KVD.